Hello, I'm Lockstin, and welcome to my universe. Not too long ago, I was tagged in a sort of Pokemon tag video that I just loved. It was by my good friend Birdkeeper Toby, and it's about his evil Pokemon organization. A fun little discussion video about what his evil organization would be like. And he got some adorable art of himself and his grunts, and even some of his admins, which included me dressed up as a Hypno. So cute! It had a lot of really fun and great ideas in it, and I think you should definitely check out that video after checking out this one. So now I'm going to give you my ideas about what I would do if I were the leader of an evil organization. And, you know, being me, it just has to be at least somewhat related to alchemy. Hence, here we are, Team Azoth, or at least it would be Team Azoth if the Azoth Kingdom didn't steal the idea of the name and everything. So perhaps instead of that, we are Team Catalyst. We keep the world awake with our calorie-free caffeine mints. Sponsor segues. No, it's great. But yeah, 3 of these mints gets you the same energy as an energy drink, and they are way cheaper than constant energy drinks. Like, geez, I used to do energy drinks all the time, and now I don't thanks to them, and I'm saving so much money! And there is now affordable international shipping, and even a subscription service that sends you your mints every month to make sure that you are always ready for action. Be it work, gaming marathons, or really anything. Huge thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check out the link in the description and use the coupon code NOGGIN for a discount. But seriously though, I want a team dedicated to the study of all Pokemon and their power over infinity energy. Perhaps Team Anima, Latin for soul, or maybe just Team Soul or Team Spirit. Maybe Team Imperium, Latin for power, as in the power that's inside. Ooh, considering the rest of my ideas for the team, that's actually perfect. Team Imperium it is! Now, on the surface, the goal of merely wanting to study Pokemon doesn't sound so bad, right? What's wrong with studying Pokemon and the power that's inside? Well, because we don't care if the Pokemon is owned or not, nor do we care if the Pokemon is super important to the ecosystem or is a legendary or anything. Our goal is to study Pokemon, especially the ones with a stronger inner power, a stronger soul, stronger infinity energy. Looking to the anime, this would be perfect, as my team would take an extreme interest in Ash, being that he's had an Ash Greninja and possibly now an Ash Decidueye. But that's Spirit Bond, it's amazing, it's exactly what we want to study. Ash's Pikachu is also an abnormally powerful Pikachu, so that would be worthy of study as well. As for designs, being scientists, and especially alchemy or pseudo-science-based scientists, we would of course have lab coats. Look very Professor-esque and such. But the clothes would also be plenty torn up a bit, as we're constantly dealing with things that even we don't fully understand, and are constantly seeking out powerful Pokemon and dangerous regions. Our curiosity outweighs any fear and want of self-preservation. If someone mentions that everyone that goes into this haunted area never comes back, we will raid the place in mass. As for the Pokemon we use, the Grunts will most often have Dark and Ghost-type Pokemon. Ghost would be the main type of the whole team, as they share a bond with the real and spirit world. But the team wouldn't be limited to just Ghost, of course. Admins would have specialty Pokemon whose overall theme is intelligence and or a deep connection to the power that's inside, or the Pokemon world, or are just really cool. Pokemon like Alakazam, Metagross, Slowking, Golurk, and more, and we'll get to all that too. As you, the trainer of the game, progresses, I imagine your first encounter with Team Imperium is something simple. You see 2 Grunts trying to steal a young trainer's Pokemon, so you step in and stop them. They mainly have Abras, Litwicks, and Honages, with plenty of Rattata and Zubats for good measure. This is a Pokemon game we're talking about after all. But as you progress in the game, each time you see Team Imperium, they are doing something worse than the last time. The next encounter is us stealing ancient artifacts from a Pokemon museum. Then we begin battling other trainers and using these strange new Pokeballs that just look like regular Pokeballs, but they are able to capture Pokemon that belong to other trainers. Similar to Gale of Darkness. This could be a major new gameplay mechanic. Battles with Grunts, or at least with the higher-up Grunts, could each have one Pokeball that captures one of your Pokemon, though they always give it back to you at the end of the fight after you defeat him. So really, it's not that big of a deal. It's just basically a free KO for them. As you go through the legendary Pokemon's plot as well, we are of course always there, examining every ancient ruin we can find, and it turns out that we are taking an especially strong interest in Pokemon like Unknown, Giratina, and Arceus, as we want to use their powers of reality and dual worlds to do something drastic and dastardly. But you don't know that yet. Also, each time you encounter us at a major plot point, you do battle with an admin. The admins being these four, of course, which I had to base on Maxwell, Birdkeeper Toby, Arlo, and my lovely wife Amber. And each with their own type specialization, but still sharing the overarching theme of the power that's inside. The first admin you would face would be Arlo, who specializes in normal type Pokemon. People always ask him what's up with the blue fursuit. Are you cosplaying as Sock? And he always defends himself with, "What blue fursuit? This is completely normal!" And he uses normal type Pokemon as a way of trying to back himself up. He has 3 of them at first: Alolan Raticate, Munchlax, and Porygon Z. The first 2 because they eat a lot, like Arlo, and Porygon Z because Porygon Z is completely normal and nothing is strange about it at all. As you start digging through files you find all scattered around our bases and such, you eventually find out that some sort of event led to Arlo in the Pokemon universe being blue, and it has something to do with the boss using him as a guinea pig in an experiment involving some sort of fighting-type Pokemon's DNA. But the rest of the report is blacked out and censored. Eventually, you fight him way later on, and he includes some fighting-type Pokemon in his roster, including, of course, Throh and Sock. As for the admin Birdkeeper Toby, of course he specializes in flying-type Pokemon. His 3 at first are Honchkrow, Sigilyph, and Xatu. He's the craziest of the admins, often climbing trees and doing battle with bird Pokemon himself to better understand them. He takes an especially strong interest in the ancient ruins dedicated to Xatu's power. He's often seen hyperactively running about, in and out of dangerous places, and grabbing as many Pokemon as he can. He was promoted to admin because he has the highest stolen Pokemon count by far, because he's constantly running and flying around all of the time. You battle him more often than any other of the admins also, because he's constantly running around and you just fight him all the time. And later on, he adds a Drifloon and an Archeops to his team. As the story develops, you learn that he wasn't always so hyperactive and constantly removing spaces from between his words. Originally, he was tired all the time. He would nap in the middle of missions. And eventually, the boss just got tired of that and told him to take this new serum that is made of Vigoroth hormones and some sort of Siberian Eleuthero root. And now he almost never sleeps. And then there is my lovely wife Amber, who specializes in fire-type Pokemon. She's stoic and professional, but isn't afraid to lay down the occasional Pokemon pun. Her Salazzle is her main Pokemon, but she also has a Macargo, Camerupt, Lampent, and when you fight her later, she adds a Cofagrigus just to throw you off. Cofagrigus? I don't remember. She adds a Cofagrigus to throw you off. You battle her while she's raiding a museum dedicated to the ancients, and there are cave drawings of Unknown everywhere. You later find out, by hearing conversations of grunts, that she used to be silly and jokey all the time, constantly laughing, and while she loves Pokemon mythology and legends and knows more about them than any of the other team members, she would constantly throw jokes around while explaining them. That is, until one day she had some important meeting with her husband, the boss. And from that day forward, she became stoic, cold, and professional, though she still cracks at times. And lastly, Maxwell. Now, of course, he isn't actually a skeleton here in the Pokemon universe, but he keeps his skull theme and colorization thanks to the hazmat suit, which has a skull painted on the mask. He studies areas with high amounts of radiation and poisonous gases. As such, he specializes in poison and ghost-type Pokemon. Gengar, Muck, Duskull, Doublade, Spiritomb, and Garbodor. He's the most heartless and cold of the admins, often carelessly putting the lives of his grunts in danger and taunting them when they show any signs of fear. While learning about him more and more, you find out that somehow it gets hinted at that there's a possibility that he's hundreds of years old and has been in Team Imperium for most of his life. How these are possible, you don't know. And after finding him deep in a cave, you do battle with him, and you do, of course, wind up defeating him. He begins saying in his defeat monologue that he's so impressed. It's been decades since he's battled anyone as strong as you. But he gets cut off with a call. The phone, of course, is inside the suit, so you can't hear who he's talking to, but you hear him say, "Yes? Are you sure?" "Thank you." And hangs up. He then thanks you two, and the mask on his suit automatically comes open, and a mysterious cloud seeps out. The suit then falls and folds onto the floor, like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Return of the Jedi. It's empty. There are some ancient runes on the inside of the suit. Mysterious. And eventually, you find our base hidden in the underground of a major city. But as you explore it, you begin to notice something. There are Pokeballs of all types all over the place, boxes upon boxes of them. It turns out you are inside of a Silphco warehouse and factory, not the main one, but a major branch of it. As you push through the base and uncover the truth, you learn that Team Imperium has been a thing for centuries, since the medieval times when Pokemon were called magical creatures, which would be hinted at as the first few times you see me, I refer to Pokemon as magical creatures. Occasionally. We'd be sort of Illuminati-inspired, especially as it turns out that Silphco was founded by us, and it was our research that led to the invention of the Pokeball. The reason we have so many powerful Ghost-type Pokemon is because of the Silphscope too. And the reason you can't normally capture trainers' Pokemon is because of limitations that we put into Pokeballs. But we don't put those limitations into our own Pokeballs, since we own the black market side of Pokeball manufacturing. In fact, currently we are busy making bootlegged Master Balls in mass quantities. Now, Team Imperium being Latin for power, as in the power that's inside, has whole new meaning. Remember the original Pokemon intro? The power that's inside, as the Pokeball closes and the energy's all there, wow. But what then is the ultimate goal of ours? Why do we continue to study this bond, and the infinity energy, and dual worlds, and Arceus, and unknown reality power? Well, it's because for centuries, our ultimate goal was ultimate power through manipulation, which is why I, as the boss, am so manipulative of all the admins. But really, we want ultimate power through manipulation of the world powers, such as Silphco, and via controlling that bond between trainer and Pokemon, and controlling the soul. You find out that our ultimate goal is to finalize a machine that allows us to simply flip a switch and turn every Pokeball there is off, only allowing some to open, and of course, those are ours. And this, first of all, would lead us to world domination. Nobody can fight back with no Pokemon. And secondly, with all of that infinity energy stored inside of Pokeballs all at once, Pokeballs we have control over, because as it turns out, Bill, the creator of the PC, also works for us, because Illuminati stuff, all the most important people are owned by us. Because all of those Pokemon are in the PC system all at once, we can pull the infinity energy from all of them at once, and use that to either capture a massive horde of unknown for their reality-altering abilities, or summon and capture Arceus to rebuild the universe in my image, one where I, Lockstin, will rule over all, and infinite wisdom will be achieved. I will be immortal. It will be my magnum opus. But of course that hasn't happened yet. It's about to, but it hasn't happened yet. You do battle with me and my Pokemon, Metagross, Golurk, Sigilif, Dusknoir, Aegislash, and Mega Alakazam. That is, of course, if there's no new Pokemon in this game. But ultimately, you stop me. And destroy my machine. And even the whole lab. The whole factory, even. Heck, why not the whole city and everyone living... No, that's a little too much. The whole factory. Now it will be a long, long time before anything like this could happen again. But to keep things interesting, the team of course doesn't disband at all. After all, if you took Silphco out of the picture, there would be no more Pokeballs, and the Pokemon world can't function like that. so you end the game knowing that this exact same scenario would happen sometime in the future. I'm still out there somewhere, and maybe not in my lifetime, but perhaps in the lifetimes of my descendants, this will eventually happen. We control the power that's inside, and we will eventually control all of it. For we are Team Imperium. So what do you think? And what would your evil team be? Let me know down below, and if you want to share your idea for an evil team in a video, that'd be pretty awesome too. So until next time, please never forget to stop using that noggin, and again, be sure to check out Catalyst Mints with the link in the description. I use them constantly, and they help tremendously. I'm actually on them right now. That's why I'm able to have all this energy. It's great. Toodles. Hello, I'm Lockstin, and welcome to my universe. Not too long ago, I was tagged in a sort of Pokemon tag video that I just loved. It was by my good friend Birdkeeper Toby, and it's about his evil Pokemon organization, a fun little discussion video about what his evil organization would be like. And he got some adorable art of himself and his grunts, and even some of his admins, which included me dressed up as a Hypno. So cute! It had a lot of really fun and great ideas in it, and I think you should definitely check out that video after checking out this one. Marathons, or really anything. Huge thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check out the link in the description and use the coupon code NOGGIN for a discount. But seriously though, I want a team dedicated to the study of all Pokemon and their power over infinity energy. Perhaps Team Anima, Latin for soul, or maybe just Team Soul or Team Spirit. Maybe Team Imperium, Latin for power, as in the power that's inside. Ooh, considering the rest of my ideas for the team, that's actually perfect. Team Imperium it is. Now, on the surface, the goal of merely wanting to study Pokemon doesn't sound so bad, right? What's wrong with studying Pokemon and the power that's inside? Well, because we don't care if the Pokemon is owned or not, nor do we care if the Pokemon is super important to the ecosystem or is a legendary or anything. Sponsor segues. No, it's great. But yeah, 3 of these mints gets you the same energy as an energy drink, and they are way cheaper than constant energy drinks. Like, geez, I used to do energy drinks all the time, and now I don't thanks to them, and I'm saving so much money! And there is now affordable international shipping, and even a subscription service that sends you your mints every month to make sure that you are always ready for action. Be it work, gaming. So now I'm going to give you my ideas about what I would do if I were the leader of an evil organization. And you know, being me, it just has to be at least somewhat related to alchemy. Hence, here we are, Team Azoth, or at least it would be Team Azoth if the Azoth Kingdom didn't steal the idea of the name and everything. So perhaps instead of that, we are Team Catalyst. We keep the world awake with our calorie-free caffeine mints.